Welcome to the Introduction to ServiceLive Service Order Management Training. My name is Michelle, and I'm the Training Team Manager here at ServiceLive. Today, we are covering a basic overview of how to manage orders on ServiceLive. Let's get started today with a quick reminder of how to log in to the ServiceLive website. First, you want to go to provider.servicelive.com and use the username and password that you created during the registration process. The username will likely be the main email address you used to register. Once you log in, you should see a page very similar to the one that is currently on the screen. Toward the top of the screen, we see some tabs here: Dashboard, Service Order Monitor, ServiceLive Wallet, and Order Management. Today we will be taking a look at the Order Management tab in detail. But first, I would like to spend a few moments reviewing the dashboard screen, as it has some useful information regarding the status of your ServiceLive account. First, we have the Service Order Statistics box. This gives you an overview of all the orders the company currently has available. We have the Today link for service orders that have an active service window. This could be orders to complete today, or orders that were completed in the previous day but still need a status update. We have the Accepted link for all orders that have been accepted by the entire company that have not yet gone active. We have the Pending Cancel link for orders that need to be canceled and require an action on your part. We have the Received link for orders that are sent to the company awaiting their action to accept. We have the Bid Request link, and this is typically for larger commercial jobs. These jobs typically require a site visit and a submission of the price for parts and labor to complete the requested job. We then have the Pending Reschedule link, and this is for orders that have a service window that needs to be updated, and it requires an action on your part. We have the Problem link, and this is typically for orders that you have reported an issue with, and you're awaiting a response or resolution from the buyer. We then have the Estimation requests. This is similar to bid requests, but may not be used for commercial work. Right below that, we have the Communication Monitor. This is where you will find any new invitations to join select provider networks. You're able to see what buyer is sending the invitation, the type of work you're invited to perform, as well as the date and time the invitation was sent and when it's set to expire. If you have not yet downloaded the ServiceLive Pro mobile app yet, you can get more information about it right below the Communication Monitor. Now on the left side of the screen, we start with the Performance and Profile Statistics, where you can see your company's rating for services completed. We have the ServiceLive Status Monitor, where you will see your firm's registration status. ServiceLive Approved means that you have completed your registration and are eligible to receive work through the platform. Provider Registration tells you how many of your technicians have completed their profiles. And the Provider Background Checks section lets you see a count of all technician background checks and their current status. We also have member offers. Because of your partnership with ServiceLive, there are discounts and services offered to you. By clicking here, we move to the Members Offers screen. You'll see the different types of discounts and offers available to you. Keep in mind that these do change from time to time, so revisit the page frequently to make sure you're not missing out on any offers. When we return to the dashboard, just below the Members Offers, we have an SPN Monitor. This is where you can see the status of each Select Provider Network membership. Your membership must be in a member status to receive work from that particular buyer. If you have questions or concerns about invitations received in the Communication Monitor or your current SPN statuses, I will list some important contact numbers towards the end of our session today. Before we move into order management, it's also important to remind you of updating your ServiceLive wallet. We'll start by using the ServiceLive Wallet tab at the top of the screen. When the ServiceLive Wallet opens, we see that we're on the Overview tab. The Overview tab will display the 25 most recent transactions from the last 30 days. It's a quick look at what's been happening within your ServiceLive wallet. The next tab for the Financial Profile is where you enter a point of contact for all things financial. It's very important that whoever you list here has the authority and knowledge to talk about all things financial, as this is the person we will contact if there are any issues. It's important to note that when you have completed this section and saved, you'll see a green check mark indicating this section was completed. Next, we have the Manage Accounts tab. Here you enter your bank account information. This is the account where you will transfer your ServiceLive funds. Again, when the section is completed, a green check mark will appear. When you're ready to transfer funds to your ServiceLive wallet, you'll use the Manage Funds tab here. You simply select the account to withdraw your funds to and enter your withdrawal amount. Once you click Withdraw Funds, it's important to remember that this may take 2 to 3 business days depending on your financial institution. We then have the History tab, and the History tab works very much like the Overview tab, except you're able to see a longer interval of your transactions and enter a date range for the time frame you'd like to review. In addition to updating the ServiceLive wallet, it's also important to ensure that your W-9 legal tax information is completed. Accurate W-9 information is crucial for financial transactions. You'll find this information by hovering over the Administrator Office tab on the upper right-hand side of the screen and selecting W-9 Legal Tax Information. Now to order management. This is order management, and it's where you'll spend the majority of your time when you are on ServiceLive. The links on the left-hand side walk us logically through the life cycle of a service order, all the way from accepting the order to printing the paperwork, to completing the order and closing it for payment. The number next to each link indicates how many service orders are currently in this status. We start in the inbox. The inbox holds every service order that your company has in ServiceLive. All statuses from received to awaiting payment are found in the inbox. It's not recommended that you process your service orders from this inbox, but instead use the links on the left-hand side. The inbox is helpful to get an overview of everything you have available in ServiceLive. There are some things that every link on the left-hand side has in common, and I'm going to go over those things now using the inbox, so we don't have to cover them again in each individual link. We can see here the status and substatus of a service order, the title and service order ID number, information about the service location and appointment, as well as the status, scope, and the assigned provider if the information is available. Now there's only so much information that can be displayed on each row. For additional information about a specific order, you can click the blue link for the title of the order to go to the full service order. Once you arrive in the full service order, you'll find yourself on the Summary tab. You can review quite a bit of information about your order from this screen. We have the overview and buyer's terms and conditions, any special instructions which can include specifics about the location of service. We have the scope of work and the task comments associated with completing the service. In the Parts section, you may see part information already listed or options to enter your invoice information and upload that information to receive the reimbursement for your part. Once you've reviewed the information you need in the service order, you can tap Return to Once you review the needed information in the service order, you can scroll up and click Order Management at the top of the screen to return to our previous location. Lastly, to the very right-hand side of the screen, we have an Actions column. There are two types of actions available in each link. These actions will differ depending on what link you are on, but will always be available. The main action is the large button here and points you towards the next step that's needed to be taken based on the status of the order. We also have secondary actions available under the drop-down arrow. Now let's take a look at the Respond link. When you first have an order routed to you, it will appear in the Respond link until you use the Main Action button to accept the service order. There are secondary actions listed here, but you will not use these secondary actions. The counter offer does not apply to your in-home work. Also, if you feel you need to reject an order, you'll want to contact your contract service manager directly for assistance. Now, when you click the main action to accept, it will open a pop-up box that will guide you through accepting a service order. There are some basic service order details listed at the top of the pop-up box. You then have the ability to assign the appropriate provider to the order. If you do not assign a provider now, you'll be given an opportunity to do so later. Once you've made the decision to assign your provider, you'll then accept the service order. Now on to the Schedule link. I'm going to cover the Schedule link in conjunction with the Confirm Appointment link. These two links operate in the exact same way, as both require a phone call to the end customer to confirm the service order details. The screens in both links look exactly the same. The difference is that the phone calls happen at two different points during the life cycle of the service order. Per the buyer requirements, the Schedule link is used within 24 hours of accepting a service order, and this is your first phone call to the end customer. The second phone call is done using the Confirm Appointment link and is completed 24 hours before you are scheduled to be on the job site. We'll use the Schedule link to demonstrate how these two links work. We'll click on the Main Action button to pre-call, and a pop-up box will appear that will prompt you through the phone call. We first have the customer's name and phone number information. You'll be able to review the service location and add any service location notes that may be beneficial. This could include information like a gate code. Keep in mind, if there is information listed in the service location notes, don't delete that information. Simply add your details with it. Next, you'll confirm the service with the customer. If you need to add any additional special instructions, you'll be able to do so. But again, don't delete any information that already exists. Lastly, you'll confirm the scheduled appointment date and service window, and then update the drop-down with the appropriate information once you've completed the call. After you've updated these sections, you'll tap Save. As I mentioned, if you did not assign a provider when you accepted a service order, the Assign Provider link will allow you to do so. In order for the provider to check in with our IVR system, they will need to be assigned to the order prior to the service window starting. In this link, we'll use the main action to Assign Provider. When the pop-up appears, you'll be able to review some basics of the service order, select the appropriate provider, and click Confirm. The Manage Route link contains orders in accepted, active, and problem statuses. This link allows you to filter service orders by appointment date or even by provider. You'll notice that while in the Manage Route link, you are able to reassign a provider here. You simply click the Reassign link below the provider's name to then select the appropriate provider and confirm that information. Additionally, if up to this point you have not yet assigned a provider to your order, you will see a red triangle on the left side of the order indicating that the step needs to be completed. Remember that a provider must be assigned to the order before the service window is active in order to check in and out using our IVR. Just as a reminder, the Confirm Appointment link operates exactly the same as the Schedule link. The phone call for Confirm Appointment happens 24 hours before the service order goes active. This will allow you to give the customer a more specific arrival time if it's available. This is also a great opportunity to confirm the services required and ask any additional questions you may have about the customer's needs or the appliance. For instance, is the appliance accessible? Is it a stack unit that requires 2 technicians? Confirm the model and serial numbers so the information matches, and confirm any parts you should bring with you. If you are not using the mobile app, you must print paperwork for the service order to take with you to the job site. The paperwork contains both a provider copy and a customer copy. Remember that the provider copy of the paperwork will need to be signed and uploaded to the service order as proof of completion. Claims may only be filed with required paperwork attached, so be sure you obtain the customer's signature on the certificate of completion before leaving the home. The Print Paperwork link is the only link without an action column on the right side of the screen. Instead, we have a column of checkboxes on the left-hand side. By selecting these checkboxes, you can print paperwork for several orders as needed. Once you select the order to print paperwork for, you'll see a View PDF button on the upper right side of the screen. When we click View PDF, we'll see a pop-up to confirm that we are going to view both copies of the paperwork. Clicking View PDF will open a new window with a PDF version of the paperwork you'll be printing. You'll first see the customer copy of the paperwork. The service order number is visible at the top of each page. You'll also see a service order description, followed by the tasks to complete the service. You can also view the Technician ID and Company ID. The next page is the customer's copy of the signature page. You'll both complete this page, and the customer will retain this copy for their records. Next, we have the provider copy of the paperwork. Again, the service order is at the top of the page, and we also have the service order information here. There are instructions on how to use the IVR system upon arrival and departure from the site. The second page here is the waiver of lien, and this copy will need to be completed by the customer and the provider and then uploaded as proof of completion on the service order. As I mentioned before, if you use the mobile app, you will not need to print the paperwork. You will be able to have the customer sign a digital copy of the service order and email them a copy for their records. Once you've reviewed the paperwork available here, you'll move your mouse to the top of the screen and select the print icon. Once you've completed that, you'll close the window and see that ServiceLive is still open behind it. The Current Orders link holds all the service orders that are currently active. This means that the service order window has started and providers should be out in the field completing these calls. This link makes it easy for an administrator or dispatcher to find a service order for a provider who is on site and may have an issue. In this link, the main action is to add a note. This note will be visible to the buyer and is a great way to stay in contact with them. This note can be information about what time you are arriving or anything occurring while on site. There are also two secondary actions that we see for the first time in the Current Orders link. The first is Time on Site. Time on Site is available for when you aren't able to call into the IVR. There are times where you may forget to call in, or maybe you were out of cell service. This can also happen when using the mobile app, so it's important to know where to enter your arrival and departure time manually. When you select Time on Site, the link will take you to the service order details in the Time on Site tab. Here you should see a table, and below the table, a link that says, "Did you miss check-in from IVR or mobile?" When you click the link, you will now be able to add the date and time of arrival and or departure after you have selected the reason why you missed the entry. The Current Orders link is also the first time we see the secondary action to report a problem. If you click on Report a Problem, it brings you to a form you use to notify the buyer of an issue. When the service order opens, you are in the Report a Problem tab. To complete the form, it's important to select the most accurate type of problem you are encountering. You'll then enter additional information, which should be a detailed account of what's occurring and the problem encountered. The Job Done link is where you acknowledge that the work was completed and update the final documentation so that the buyer can review, confirm, and close for payment. These steps can also be completed in the mobile app. From the Job Done link, you'll use the Complete Order Action button. You'll need to first confirm that the service order has been completed in the pop-up that appears. You will first need to confirm that the service has been completed in the pop-up that appears. There are a few things you must do to ensure that the order can be closed for a timely payment. You'll update resolution comments, which is a detailed account of what happened while on site. You'll update the service order pricing, and assuming all went well in the service order and no add-ons were needed, this amount should match the total to the left of the final price. You may have custom reference fields to complete that will typically involve adding part information for reimbursement. You then have the Documents and Photos section. If you printed your paperwork and had your customer sign, this is the section where you'll upload that signed signature page. Once you've updated this information, you'll use the Submit for Payment button at the bottom of the screen. Next, we have the Revisit Needed link, and in this example, there are no orders under the Revisit Needed link. If you marked an appointment as Revisit Needed using the mobile app, you would use this link to view the details of that job site revisit. Resolve a problem is the final step in the Report a Problem process. Remember that you can report a problem from the Current Orders screen. Once you report a problem, it will be sent to the buyer, and you will have an offline conversation to resolve that problem by phone or email. Once there is a solution available, you will come to the Resolve Problem link to confirm that solution. So we'll use the main action to issue resolution, and this will open a screen where you can confirm the solution reached. In this section, you'll be able to see the problem and details that you previously provided and update the resolution and mark issue resolved if needed. If the customer requests to cancel an accepted service order, the buyer will update the status of the service order. If the order is due in more than 24 hours, the buyer will change the status to cancellation. Unfortunately, the system will not send a cancellation notice to you as the provider. The order will simply disappear from the order management system. If the customer cancels a request less than 24 hours before the service window, or if the service window has passed, the buyer will change the status to pending cancellation, and you'll be notified via the cancellations link to take action. If you have any orders in the cancellations link, you'll need to take action by clicking the View Order Main Action button. This will take you to the service order details. Once in the service order details, you will either agree or disagree with the cancellation amount. If you agree with the terms of the pending cancellation status, the system will automatically change the service order to canceled, and the applicable funds will be transferred to your ServiceLive wallet. If you do not agree with the cancellation amount or the terms, perhaps you completed the work or would like a different amount for your cancellation, you will select Disagree with the cancellation and fill in the appropriate information. Lastly, we have the Awaiting Payment link. The Awaiting Payment link lists service orders that you completed and submitted for payment. These are awaiting the buyer to close on their end. Typically, this can take 2 to 3 business days once all required pieces of information are submitted. Just as a reminder, those required pieces of information are resolution comments, the final price of the order, any applicable custom reference fields, and documents. If you need assistance with any of the information that we've covered or have questions about your orders, there are important phone numbers here to assist you. For assistance with the ServiceLive website, you can contact our support team at 888-549-0640, option 1. Our support team can assist with service orders you've received or general questions about the platform. For any assistance with insurance or licensing information, you can contact 888-549-0640, option 2. Our team will be able to assist with insurance or licensing questions or background check questions as well. For assistance with select provider network information, including any invitations you receive or the status of networks you've joined, or even if you have questions or updates needed to your ServiceLive profile, call 888-549-0640, option 4 to speak with a network account specialist. If you feel you need assistance outside of our regular business hours or would like to review additional information about what we have available in ServiceLive, you can use our training site at training.servicelive.com. Once on our training page, you'll select Provider Training and see a list of all the lessons that you can read through or watch a video for. We have information here on SPN or Select Provider Networks, ServiceLive Wallet information, order management, and even additional information about our mobile app. Thank you for joining me today and for continuing to be a part of ServiceLive. Have a wonderful rest of your day.